everyone and welcome back to Fallout Wasteland Warfare, the Settlement Mode playthrough with my poor band of survivors who did not do well last time, and I think that was probably what reflected in the results of the community poll we did to see whether or not this time around we go crawling on our knees to Recon Squad Shield saying, hey, could you possibly help us, please, please, please. But first we have the Settlement Mode stuff to get out of the way real quick. We lost 300 caps last time because of the special rules for the mission we did, which means we're basically broke. We have 144, but let's draw the Explore cards first, and then we also have a free food draw card too. Whether or not we actually use it, because we've got a lot of stuff in storage, we'll see. Our first Explore card this week, the Lake Edge, recent but deserted. The Mirelurk nest at the water's edge is suitable for a campfire. What to do with the Mirelurk eggs? Either keep the eggs, gain quick action Mirelurk eggs item, or cook the eggs before the next battle, discard 3 damage. I guess that's if you would go into battle damaged. Let's see what the other Explorer is first, because maybe that would damage us. Freeside. Some armor lays in the middle of an I remember this from Freeside. Do you take it? Draw 1 armor card, test perception. You hear movement and know you've fallen for the ambush, drop the armor or run. Either discard the armor card or keep and gain stun plus 1 damage. You know, I don't have an armor card looked out, so we're just going to drop it and run. I do remember that mission from New Vegas though, or that little bit in New Vegas where you go in the alley in Freeside. For this, I guess we'll gain quick action. I don't even know what that means, honestly. Is that quick action? Like, why is the cog inside the larger cog? I guess it just means as a quick action you can use Mirelurk eggs. I guess that's what that would mean. So sure, we'll take the Mirelurk eggs. I actually might have that card handy. Speaking of which, because of our cooking station and crop field, let me just shuffle these cards. We get to draw a food card of some variety and add it to our pool of items. You cannot make this up. I literally just shuffled on camera. And oh no, it's not Mirelurk eggs though, it's Mirelurk meat. Well, either way, that's in part of the stuff we've got to look through. Let me get this out of the way and we'll do that now. So from this lot we have to store 5 and take 5 into our next battle. Also I did have a quick look on the app real quick to see if Mirelurk eggs were a edible consumable. It's not on the list at all. I saw Rad Scorpion eggs, but the only Mirelurk one was Queen Mirelurk meat and Mirelurk meat, which we just got. So presumably the eggs are sellable or something like that, but they're definitely not a consumable, so we're just not going to bother about it. Obviously we're going to take the 2 power armors, because today is going to be a rough one again, I think. So they're coming with us for sure. So is the laser rifle, so that's 3. I think I want to use up the perks. I'm going to take the perks, so 2 perks count as 1 thing, so that's 4. So we can only take 1 more thing. The Hunter's Hunting Rifle isn't going to do much, we're not fighting creatures. Incendiary Assault Rifle, the fire could. The sturdy metal armor could help keep someone alive. I think we'll take the Incendiary Assault Rifle of those, and we'll store these 5, which means the Mirelurk we just found is getting discarded. So with that, let's hear the brief for this week. Quest name, The Mechanist's Revenge. A win will result in 200 caps, a loss will result in 120 caps. The strange robot recovered from the wastes has been claimed by someone who set up those defences guarding it, and it turns out it was an eccentric robotics expert named the Mechanist. Now they've brought a robotic force near New Hope looking for it, and are clearly prepared to take it back by force if need be. A preemptive strike is the best bet before the robots are fully battle ready. The Brotherhood of Steel also has some troops ready to assist if needed. So you will have heard the quest overview and know roughly what we're doing today. We'll go over the specifics in a second, as always, once we quickly show who's coming along on the mission. The free tech is going to stay at home today. But at time of recording, 120 people have voted on the community post as to whether or not Brotherhood assistance is required for this mission, and with 66% of the vote, Brotherhood assistance is needed. And after last time, I'm not surprised that's how the vote went. So that does mean that we get +1 Brotherhood reliance. That means we're at +2 overall for the season, which is important going forwards to keep track of. But for now, let's quickly look over my team and then we'll discuss how Brotherhood assistance actually works, which is made up rules for me, by me. Incidentally, if you're not aware, this is not a mechanic that exists within the game. But anyway, of the gear that we're bringing, the Settler is donning the T51/45 power armor and is taking the laser rifle. The Scavenger is donning the T60 power armor and is not being given anything. He's pretty good in melee. The power armor puts him at strength 7, so it makes him and his pipe wrench even better. So he's keeping his same rubbish bolt action pipe pistol, but my goal with him is get him in close combat. Pennyworth is here, John is here with his 44. He's been given the incendiary assault rifle to give him a longer range option. The Dogmeat just has his bite, and the Sole Survivor just has his normal gear, hunting rifle, 10mm pistol, and a machete. So because Brotherhood assistance has been requested to do this, and so it should be, since they commandeered the robot, the way it works is, from Recon Squad Shield, we get red dice worth of assistance, or this is the maximum I should say, because if there's only like 2 of them left alive, and we roll a 4, obviously only 2 of them can come along. So how many of them are coming along today? The higher this number is, the easier time we're going to have. 2 of them. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so when we show deployment, there'll be 2 members of Recon Squad Shield set up on the opposite corner from where we're setting up. As per usual, we're going to set up on the corner down here probably, and at that point we'll go over what we're doing today. So we're all set up and it's time to go over the mission specifics, although there wasn't really much room and it was a bit too close to the enemies to deploy Recon Squad Shield on the opposing table edge, so they're just in the corner down here with the event cards. And the 2 knights in power armor have come along today because it is going to be a bit of a nasty one. The rest of my team is set up here. Pennyworth, this is the Scavenger, Settler, John, and Dogmeat, and the Sole Survivor over here. I forgot to mention the Sole Survivor has been given the 2 perk cards as well, and they're hopefully going to take advantage of his Lone Wanderer perk if he can get far enough away. So today we have 3 Protectrons, which as it turns out is like the greatest foe my Settler can face, 1 Assaultron, the Mechanist, whoever they are in the costume, in the centre there, and a deactivated sentry bot, thankfully. It is currently inactive, but the goal of the mission is to take out the Mechanist before he can bring the sentry bot online. So the Mechanist himself, or their self, is going to operate a little bit differently. His first turn, he's going to run over to that terminal there, and that is where he's going to stay. He is desperately trying to get the sentry bot online, and the sentry bot is our timer for the mission this time. He is going to pass a computer check, which thanks to his armor, I think he's up to like skill 8 or 9, so it's super easy for him to do so. He passed the skill check. At most he can do 1 per turn, but he can try it twice for his 2 actions. If he succeeds, we roll the armor die, and we keep a tally of how much that adds up by. If it gets to 10 or more, the sentry bot activates, at which point we enter the final turn of the game. There's 1 turn where the sentry bot will be active and will stay active to try and take out the Mechanist. If we still haven't taken him out after that point, sentry bot's too powerful, we back off, counts as a loss. So when if the Mechanist goes down, he has a stealth boy though, as part of his standard kit, so for the first 2 turns of the game it's basically not worth shooting at him, so that gives him a kind of freebie couple of turns, and even after that we've still got to get through his robots to get to him. So it's going to be quite difficult. At most, if the armor die rolls really high, the sentry bot will come online turn 3, which means turn 4 will be the last turn. It might come on turn 5, in which case turn 6 will be the last turn, unless the Mechanist dies prior to that, of course. He has quite a lot of health, I think it's like 7 or 8 health, and the Mechanist armor gives him reasonable physical and energy defense as well. So he isn't a pushover, let's put it that way. So that's our goal. We've just got to take him out before the sentry bot comes online, but once the sentry bot's online we have exactly 1 turn left. With some backup from Recon Squad Shield, even if they're just meat shields, that should hopefully prove better. Laser rifles do okay against robots, so that's also handy. Let's jump into battle round 1, I think. I think we're ready to get started. Covered everything. This is going to be painful, I think, but let's see what happens. So the Mechanist's mechanical forces go first, randomizing who activates as per. The Assaultron activated and wants to be aggressive. They moved up red, and then that does put them in green charge radius. They are fast of both the Settler and Pennyworth. They're both kind of equidistant, so we're just going to roll to decide who she goes after, he goes after. 1 to 3, or 1 or 3 will be the Settler, 2 to 4 is Pennywise. Okay. Zoop. Right in there against the Settler. Oh dear. And it turns out we do actually have to stay down here because the Assaultron finished 2 actions that weren't shooting action with an enemy within line of sight, and it only takes 2 to prime their Assaultron laser head thing. So she's going to fire that at point blank range in close combat because she did a move and a charge as 2 actions where she could see an enemy within her presence radius of black. So she's rolling a black die, 2 yellow dice, normally skill 8, presumably the close combat negative applies, so it's down to 6. And they rolled a 6 with 1 armor break against the Settler. I did knock that to a 7, but it was a 6. With the power armor though, that is, it's counting as energy, 2 plus 1. Oh dear, only blocked the 1 extra damage. It did 3 damage. It does 3 damage base, so that's 3 damage to the Settler's power armor already. Well, I'm going to charge in with Pennyworth. Easily made it, didn't need to put down the measuring tool obviously because the Assaultron is right there. Take advantage of an outnumbered bonus before the settler maybe pulls away. So, Mr. Handy Buzzsaw is usually just a yellow die, green die for outnumbered, black die is a charge bonus. Sixes! Well, apparently I'm rolling nothing but sixes today. Bottle caps, I'm not sure do anything with the Mr. Handy Buzzsaw. It does not, it's just 2 damage. And I believe it's 2+1 armor. I'll check in a second. We're going to have to because that probably fully blocks the damage. Pardon me for leaning over. It is 2+1. The Assaultron blocked everything. Next up for the Mechanist's forces is this blue Protectron on the side here, staying where he is because he can see Recon Squad Shield. So he's going to shoot at one of the knights. It doesn't really matter who because they're both identical. We'll say the one on the far right there. 2 shots at long range for his hand lasers, needing 3s because they don't hit very well. Miss on the first shot. And the second shot is a critical fail, which is just as well because it would have done 1 extra damage. Well, I did say he's better in close combat, so I activated the Scavenger. He hopped the wall, and well, he moved up to the wall, and then his charge distance would have been hindered slightly, but still had more than enough to cover getting into base to base with the Assaultron. Forgot to put down the Assaultron as taking a green die because it did charge, and he's taking a black die to hopefully smack the Assaultron before the Assaultron gets to attack next turn. This Protectron up here activated for the Mechanists forces next. Just going to stay where it is and fire 2 long range shots at John rather than firing into a complicated melee. So it's just 2 long range shots again, single black die and 3s. And is it? Oh no, it's a hit for 2 extra damage. Apparently you can roll the double damage on that die. We haven't seen it for a while. So that in total is 4 energy damage against John's 2 energy defense. He didn't block any of it and took 4 of his 7 health in 1 shot. The second shot is obviously going to miss to karmically balance that out. Oh yeah, it does. It needs a 3. Thank goodness it missed. Still, 4 damage though, that's very rough. Well, it's quite scary now that the Protectrons have apparently learned how to land hits. I activate Dogmeat. He's going to be my little assassin on the side of a table, sneaking up the left flank here with the Soul Survivor. I'm hoping they get round fast enough to start taking some pot shots at the Mechanist in turn 3. To take him out relatively quickly, but that remains to be seen. Well, the Mechanist is slow to react because it was his last Protectron to go before him, so it's just him left. The Protectron activated, moved forwards, couldn't see anybody, and then just moved out again. Can see Dogmeat now, but can't do anything this turn. I moved John up to the wall for a little bit of cover, then he's going to fire his 44 because it is in range blue, to shoot at that Protectron up there. Hoping for those armor breaks on 2 yellow dice, and it's 6s, and that's a crit fail. He rolls a lot of crit fails. Well, before it's over to the rest of my team plus Recon Squad Shield, the Mechanist activated, moved over to the console, so this turn he can only try and hack it once. His armor gives him +1 int, which means his hacking skill is at 8. So let's just roll that real quick. They passed. How much progress towards activating the sentry? Only 1. That's not so bad, so there's still 9 points left to go. The Soul Survivor moved up twice, following in with Dogmeat. Unfortunately, John is close enough that he's not getting the benefits from his Lone Wanderer perk, but that's okay because he can still pull up more of the left flank. Hopefully sneak through where that Protectron is, basically, and get in there. That's the plan. The Settler is breaking away from combat with the Assaultron. I'm hoping that the Scavenger and Pennyworth can handle it. Fingers crossed. So it's going to get a free attack, but then for her second action, she's moving up here. So, Assaultron swipe, 6s. Oh, sorry, it would be down to a 4, but that does not matter because it broke armor. I was not expecting that. Okay, so 1 armor break and 3 damage physical. So that is 1+1, all said and done. She blocked 2, so only the bonus damage gets through. Unfortunately, that does mean that her power armor is now broken. Alright, we're down to 2 members of Recon Squad Shield that are here. I'm going to go with the one on the furthest right. He's just going to take 2 short-range laser rifle shots at that Protectron. And it's on skill 6s. We saw this a lot in the opening of the season. That's a miss with a 9. And then his other shot is a hit with a 6. That ignores 1 armor. So that's 2 versus 2 armor. The Protectron took 1 damage. And the other Recon Squad Shield member is moving up once and then doing the exact same thing. Short range laser rifle shot into that Protectron, only the 1 shot. I want him to move up because shamelessly I want them to be targeted. It's a hit. I don't think the double star does anything with a laser rifle, it's just bottle caps. Yep. 2 damage, 3 energy armor, and he blocked all of it. Ugh, that's rough. So the end of turn 1 saw my team getting horrendously beaten up, and all in all everyone managed to do 1 damage to 1 Protectron, so it's going about the same as normal really. Let's see what the event is for the turn. It is Helios 1, the first ranged attack after each model makes... Let's try again. The first ranged attack each model makes this turn suffers a -2 penalty. That applies to everybody, so it's not so bad. I'm going to have to remember that's in effect. I'm going to move it somewhere different on the table just so I can definitely see it. So everyone's first range attack is -2. That's probably going to hurt me more, honestly. So it was the Mechanists themselves that got turn 2 started. They get 2 attempts to hack successfully, although only 1 will actually add to the tally. So first attempt, well, they succeeded. How much gets added to the sentry bot wake up procedure? 2 this time. So again, they can't do anything with their action because they can only have 1 success. So that's them done for the turn. But that's 3 out of 10 towards the sentry bot activating. Alright, my first activation for turn 2 is going to be the Scavenger. I want to see him hurt this Assaultron. Thanks to having Pennyworth there still, that's a green die for outnumbered bonus. A extra black die because the power armor makes him 7+ strength. And you know what, I've just realised I've swapped the models in the wrong place. Oh wait, no I haven't, Wait, yes I have. He's in the T60 power armor. The Settler is in the T45 armor. I was going to mention because the T45 armor doesn't give as much bonus HP. It gives 3 bonus HP, not 4. But yeah, they've actually been equipped with the wrong stuff. This is the Settler, and this is the Scavenger. I did that specifically because the T60 power armor also gives more attack, which is the whole point. So I apologise if that was confusing. I didn't notice until literally just now as I was talking. As I was saying, power armor puts him at 7, so he gets an extra black die for strength. Charge bonus for the first attack, extra black die. He's armed with a pipe wrench, 2 base damage, yellow die, green for outnumbered, and he's on 7s, I think, thanks to that power armor. So that is a big hit after all that confusion. And that is against 2+1 armor, although it's down to 1+1 armor. So they only block 1 bonus damage, which means 3 gets through against the Protectron. Then we lose the black die, and we do it again, because that's the charge bonus. That's a crit fail. That's okay though, 3 damage is fine. Well, the Assaultron activated and is going to swing back, randomized to its targeting, and it's going to target the Scavenger. Apologies again for not noticing I was using the wrong miniatures in the wrong place, but I did say the correct equipment when we were going over the teams. So anyway, the Assaultron is actually pretty scary. I also did not realise they were strength 7, so extra black die thrown in for damage, extra green die thrown in for the charge bonus, and then their normal swipe is just yellow-green. Hitting on 6s. That's a hit. For our bottle caps do nothing for it, so straight flat 2 damage versus 3+1. Blocked it all. So then it loses a green die. But it is going to charge its laser and shoot its laser again after this. That's also a hit, which is much, much worse. That's 4 damage versus 2+1. Blocked 3, so took 1. That's not so bad. Although it is going to get shot now. I'm going to need to double check the head laser dice, but yeah, 1 damage. Alright, head laser on 6s presumably because of the minus, and that is a 10 with no negatives, which is just as well, because that would have been 5 damage. We'll be back to that ongoing melee soon, I'm sure, but for now I'm going to activate one of the knights from the Recon Squad shield. The one right there. He's going to shoot twice point blank into that Protectron right in front of him on 6s. That is a hit. Need bottle caps to do anything special. 2 versus 3 armor. Fully blocked it. And the next shot, that ignores 1 armor, and it's 3 damage against 2 armor. 2 damage. Okay, I'll take that. He's the only one who can do damage apparently. Well, via random selection of the 3 Protectrons, the one that just got shot is the one that activated, and we count checking for self-destruct from 4 damage onwards. Just for the record, 2 point blank shots against the closest knight, and it's hit for 3 damage against 2+1 armor, I believe. So that blocks 2, so he is taking 1 damage from that first hit. Second shot is a miss. Well, now using the correct armor, I'm going to activate the Settler. She's moving along here, and she's going to help drown this Protectron in laser rifle fire. Only a single shot this turn though, 6s. It is a hit. The stars, I think, do nothing yet. It's literally just bottle caps. 3 armor. Fully blocked it. The middle Protectron activated for the AI, leaving just the one on the left flank with dog meat after this. Going to take 2 shots at John, who is in cover now though, so he's only going to hit him on a crit. Thanks to the -2 for being in cover, and that's as far away from that as you can possibly get. Second shot, that is also a miss even after applying the negative. I'm going to have Dogmeat take one for the team by engaging with the Protectron that hasn't activated yet. So hopefully Soul Survivor is just going to slip right on by and go after the Mechanist, because from this turn, or the end of his turn, his Stealth Boy is no longer active, so it'll be easier to shoot him. So Dogmeat charged in, taking an extra black die on top of his bog standard bite. 6s. It's hit for a double armor break plus a... would cancel quick action, not relevant. But still, double armor break means the Protectron's got 2 armor. And he blocks 1 of it, takes 1. Okay, I'll take that. So Dogmeat's definitely going to pay for this if this Protectron eventually explodes, but he's shooting his hand lasers in close combat, so he needs crits. Okay, got a crit, so that's 2 against 1 broken energy armor. Dogmeat's got 1+1. Nope, so just the +1 applies. He took 1 damage, and that's his super armor. Oops, super armor gone. And then the other hit, what should be 2 crits in a row? Might as well be. Okay, so that's 3 damage versus 2 armor. Took 1 more. That's not okay. So we're just down to my activations now, starting with the Soul Survivor. He is slipping right on by, exactly as I said, to give him eyes on the Mechanist for the next turn. I considered moving John up. I think I'm just going to have him keep shooting at this Protectron to draw its attention, to let the Soul Survivor slip by even easier. So 2 shots with the 44 close range. That is a hit, thanks to the negative. 1 armor break puts the Protectron sadly at 3 physical armor. It blocked 1, took 1. Second shot. That's a hit for 1 armor break, 3 armor. Blocks 1, took 1. All in all, took 2. I'll take that. Let's go with Pennyworth next, see if he can scratch the paint on that Assaultron. Don't have high hopes with just a green and a yellow die, honestly. But hey, let's give it a go. Okay, I should never speak before rolling dice, because then the opposite of what I say happens. So that's 3 damage in total. Only blocked 1, took 2. Ah, do they have the self-destruct roll? I'll roll the dice for the next attack and then check. That is... oh, it is good enough, actually. 2 damage. Blocked 1, took 1. Okay, now I will have to check the self-destruct. The Assaultrons do not have a random chance of activating self-destruct. They will always do it when they hit 0 HP. And this Assaultron is halfway there with 5 damage. And last activation for me this turn, the final Knight moved up and is taking 1 pot shot at this wounded Protectron. Point blank range, laser rifle, nope, with a quick action, can't really do anything with that, sadly. That'll do it. Well, as we look at the event for turn 2, or sorry, going into turn 3, you might be asking yourself, did he entirely forget about Helios 1 after saying he would try his best to remember? Shut up, that's why. The event for the next turn, Churned Land. The first movement each model on ground level makes is treated as difficult terrain, so 1 size lower. End of the round, roll to see if it stays in play. Turn 3 is getting started with this Protectron over here, going to hit poor Dogmeat twice with his hand lasers in close combat. Needs crits to do anything though. Not going to get as lucky this turn, I feel. Yeah, okay, nothing. Excellent. I'd like to do a harm to this Assaultron, so I'm going to use the Scavenger. And same dice as before, no charge bonus though. That's a hit. 1 armor break puts it at 1+1, I believe, for 3 damage. I'm going to have to double check if it's 1+1. 2+1 normally, so it was 1+1, so only the bonus damage gets covered. So that's 2 more damage from that attack. That's excellent. There we go. And then can you do this feat one more time? 8 comes down to 7. Let me double check with the power armor. That's enough. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it is. 2 damage versus 1+1 again. Only the 1 block, so 1 more damage goes through. Getting there. That's it up to 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got 2 health left. We want it to have a turn before I make it hit 0, otherwise it will explode this turn. Bleep, bleep, bleep. The Mechanist trying to bring that sentry bot online. That's a 6. It does succeed. By how much of the process? 3! That's it up to 6 of the 10 required to bring it online. Alright, let's see how tough this Mechanist is. I moved up with the Soul Survivor. He's going to take a short range shot with his hunting rifle, which is double yellow, but because he's out of any radius of a human, his Lone Wanderer perk's kicked in, so we actually should have 3 yellow, so I'll re-roll a blank or a result that doesn't matter. On 5s, that's a 7 coming down by a 1. Come on, another 1. Hey, okay, we did get a hit. The Mechanist has thanks to his armor, special armor that is, 2+1 against physical and energy. So still able, very capable to block it. Nope, he only blocks 1. He did take 1. He has 6 health, so he's got 5 left. Alright, the Assaultron is activating. It's still going to attack the Scavenger. Same dice as before, 6s. Uh-oh. Oh dear. So that is 4 damage with the break down to 2+1 armor. Oh, only blocks 1 of the bonus armor. That's 3 damage. Is that enough to break his power armor? You better believe it is. Okay, well, I'll need to sort that in a second. Let's see if the other hit goes through, so if it matters or not. It absolutely does. For 2 armor, which I'm pretty sure is all you have on the flip side of the card. Let me just check. It's a bit awkward to grab. You would have, when it's flipped... Oh no, you have 3. So he's got 1 armor left. Nope. So he's taken... Well, his armor is broken and then I stopped tracking that. So of his actual 4 health, he's lost 1. And now we have to do the head laser of death, although actually the Scavenger has 5 HP. Yeah, it's slightly more than your average settler. Need the skill die, of course, so reduced down to 6 presumably, because he's in combat and he did a crit fail. So nothing, thankfully. I want that very badly wounded Protectron to activate before I kill it, so it self-destructs next turn. So I'm going to go with Pennyworth, try and buy some time. Green die for outnumbered bonus, hitting on 6s. Oh, that's a good hit for reducing it down to 1+1 armor, 3 damage. Blocks a total of 2, only takes the 1, not enough to kill it. Let's just add that extra 1 damage on because we'll do it again. So that's it up to 9. It's got 1 health left. And that's a hit for an armor break, so 2 damage versus 1+1. The die rolled off the floor, pardon me one moment. That would have protected it. Only the 1, so 1 damage gets through. The Assaultron is dead, but you don't remove it from the table. It initiates self-destruct, so it's going to just do move actions its next turn and then explode afterwards. Well, of the 2 Protectrons left, it was the one I wanted to activate. It's this one over here, because that means he won't explode this turn if I do the 1 damage or 3 damage he has left, 4 damage, however much. Either way, 2 hits against the Settler. She's closest. Her armor's busted, so only 2 physical defense. That is a miss. No, it's a hit. Thanks to that minus. So that is 2 damage versus, I think it's 3. Actually, no, it's 2 armor. Either way, takes 1 damage. That's 1 damage. Next shot, miss. Alright, get ready for a lot of black plus blue and skill die shots. We're going to start with the Settler shooting into the Protectron with the laser rifle she's been given on 6s. That's a hit for 2 armor break, so I think it's only got 1 left. It doesn't block any of it, takes 2. Does it initiate self-destruct? You better believe it does, so it can't do anything else, although it potentially won't matter if we just kill them, that is. It's up to 5 of its 7. And then the other shot is also a hit for 3 damage versus a 3 energy armor. Blocks 2, takes 1. Well, the final Protectron has changed tact because its controller is in danger, so it's turned and is going to shoot at the sole survivor. Still short range with the hand laser. That is a miss even with the negative. And then the second shot is a hit. Oh no! For 4 damage in total against 3 energy defense. Thankfully he's got quite a bit of energy armor. He only blocks 1, so he just took 3 damage. Oh, sorry, I forgot he hadn't used his super armor yet, so he took 2 damage all said and done. Alright, I've got 2 knights and John left to go. Let's go with the wounded knight, because he's less likely to get charged in. Try and blink off that last bit of health on the Protectron. Not with a crit failure, not. Want to try that one again real quick? There you go. It ignores 1 armor. So it's 2 armor. He doesn't block any of it and is dead. I'm pretty sure that doesn't trigger the explosion, but it's orange or yellow range anyway, so they're not within it. So that Protectron is actually dead. It turns out they can be beaten, they can be felled. That was his second shot though, so he's done. The other knight is moving in yellow and the base range of a laser rifle is black, so he can easily reach the Mechanist. He is going to take a shot at him and try and do some damage. It is a hit. They're skill 6, right? Knights are 6. Yep. For the double bottle cap, sets the Mechanist on fire, and it's 4 damage. Recon Squad shield might be the saviors, so this is against 2+1 armor. Yep, 2+1. He only gets the 1, so he took 3 damage and is on fire. That is excellent. And Recon Squad shield is getting stuff done. Oh, I did forget about the churned land, incidentally, which wouldn't have made a difference to the shot that went in from either the Sole Survivor or the Recon Squad Shield Knight, because they were both well within their minimum range. Blue for the hunting rifle, black for the laser rifle. Did forget though, that's the downside to events when you're thinking about too many things at once. Anyway, John's going to fire at the Protectron, thankfully not involving movement, so the churned land thing doesn't matter. You are so good at rolling X's. It's always on him. Well, you hit that time, okay. So that's 3 damage. With the negative armour applied, that's against 3, because I've got 4 physical armour. Which means he blocks none of it, and just took 3 damage. Okay, I spoke too soon, you're really good. Oh, which puts it below its threshold. Does it trigger self-destruct? No. Alright, we're over to Dogmeat, just keeping this Protectron busy. Not expecting great things, but that's okay, because I feel like the pressure's on the Mechanist now. So, that is a quick action, and it hits. 1 armor break, 3 armor, blocks all the damage. Second bite, that is with the minus a hit, and again a quick action, and 3 damage versus 4 armor. Takes 1. So as we go into turn 4, I've moved the Sole Survivor and the Knight back ever so slightly just to account for churned land. We need to see if it also stays in effect. It does not, and our new event is, thank goodness it's nothing to have to keep track of. Well, to get turn 4 started, it is the Assaultron that's self-destructing, so they immediately self-destruct because they don't need to run at anybody. They're already well within, and unfortunately they're within range orange, so it does a whole host of extra stuff. 4 damage base, 1 armor break, stun, 1 extra damage, and then rolling these dice as well. So we'll call that base 5 damage plus whatever. We'll roll against the scavenger first. That is an additional armor break and an additional damage, so that's 2 armor break in total, putting them at his physical, right? Yeah. Putting him at 0 armor, which means he took 6 damage. He's down. You did your job. You did well. He's gone. And against Pennyworth. That's nothing. That's a whole lot of nothing. Good. So he's just got the 1 armor break, which means he's down to 2 physical armor. And he blocked 2, which means he took 3 and lived. And that Assaultron is gone. Okay. So we do have a chance to end this right now with the Sole Survivor and also the Knight as well. He is a bit further back as mentioned, but he is still within range blue. I think I'm going to use the 10mm pistol rather than the hunting rifle. I think I want to try and do extra damage over just trying to break in through like the hit chance. Still on a 6 though. Either way, 10mm pistol, range blue, black plus green. Plus he gets 2 shots, and that is... no, it's not good enough. He's skill 5. That's a miss. Let's try another shot. That's even worse, which would definitely have killed him incidentally. Oh well. Well, the Mechanist is activating and immediately takes 1 damage from being on fire, so that puts him at 5 of his 6. So he only has 1 health left. I didn't account for him being set on fire for rules wise, because I said he would only interact with the console. He's going to put the fire out as an action. Just that's how it's going to work. I know normally that's not how it works, but for this it is. So he's going to do 1 check on the computer. He did do it though, so how much is that towards the sentry bot activating? 4, it activates. It doesn't activate until next turn, but that does mean if he somehow lives through this turn, next turn is the last turn that we have to kill him, because that sentry bot is going to move next turn. Well, let's see if the Knight of Recon Squad Shield can end this. Just proving that he is indeed still in range black for that laser rifle short range shot at the Mechanist from where he's standing. Let's see what happens. That is a hit. The star does nothing extra, so it's 2 plus 1 armor. He blocks 1 plus 1, so that is a fully blocked attack right there. The other attack hits. Bottle cap ignores 1 armor, so he's got 1 plus 1 armor. He actually can't live then, because it's doing 3 damage. Let's roll anyway. That would have been a 2, so he also would not have blocked it. The Mechanist goes down to Recon Squad Shield. He's knocked out, not killed, and as a result, that is a win. He gets up, he knows the day is lost, he retreats, he triggers the self-destruct on his robots, the sentry bot masks his escape, and they disappear. So here's who is left standing at the end of the day, although the scavenger is not killed, just knocked out. Only Recon Squad Shield have to face the Iron Man mode of this playthrough. But they were definitely integral in succeeding there. They did a lot of decent hits against the Protectron that exploded or went down, and obviously helped a great deal against the Mechanist himself. Had they not been here, that would have been really rough, because for whatever reason the Protectrons were hitting their skill 3 or less hits, and it was looking real bad. But because of the unique items just coming back instantly, the Incendiary Assault Rifle, we've just got the perks, which once again I forgot to use, although really only one of them would have been relevant if I'd gotten close combat. The Laser Rifle, these 2 perks, the 2 sets of power armor. We didn't loot anything else on the table, so those can all just come straight back to New Hope, and we did win our caps. And we stopped the Mechanist from getting that strange robot, which the Brotherhood of Steel currently control. So just as a reminder going forward, usually by the time you're seeing an episode go live, that's the day in which I film the next one, usually the Friday or the Saturday. So in order to keep these weekly, if you want to vote on whether Brotherhood help is taken on these harder missions, because that was a hard one, you have to vote in the poll I do in the community tab, as many people did for this one. There is consequences for relying on the Brotherhood too much. Not necessarily good, not necessarily bad. Depends where the series goes, of course, but do keep that in mind, because we're up to 2 already, 1 from this mission and 1 because we lost the previous mission. But we won this time. Almost forgot what that felt like. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. I apologise for the mix-up with the power armor once again, and for forgetting the events both times. There's a lot to keep track of in this game, obviously, so it's very hard to keep everything right. But as long as it's entertaining, that's the main goal. Until next time, have a good day, and ta-ta for now.